Here in California, it takes about a 10-year process to get approved a motorized trail in the National Forest. We got to do our part to maintain these trails and keep them in good condition. Got a couple exciting new products to review today in my Kung Fu outfit on this rainy Saturday. I'll talk a little bit about trail riding and trail etiquette at the same time. Now, nothing pisses off trail people more, the folks that maintain trails and the folks that make trails, more than folks that go out there and tear up the trails. And what tears up the trails? Well, one thing is knobby tires spinning and burning up the trail and stomping on their brakes instead of just smoothly riding over the trail. And the other thing is, when you come to an obstacle like a windfall, a downed tree, what do folks tend to do? They're in a rush and they immediately seek to go around the tree instead of hopping over it, or best yet, cutting the tree and helping to make the trail a better place. If you go around the tree, you're going to start cutting a whole new trail, and that's what really upsets trail folks, is the erosion caused by folks going around obstacles, windfall, and causing erosion off of the trail. So I'm guilty of that too, and to be a little better steward of the trail, I got a couple of products that are hopefully going to help so I can change my ways. And the exciting thing about these products is they fit right here in the Giant Loop Mojave bag. Now I had to bury it in here. It's one of the biggest things in the bag. Let's see what we got. How much work it is to get it out of here. It's going to take a little bit of undigging, because you got a lot of stuff crammed into here, but here it is. The Big Boy, the Silky Big Boy 2000 hand saw. Now this is a saw that's about as big as you're gonna want to carry, but it's a saw that's small enough for you to carry for daily use on your rides, and can cut a substantial sized log out of the way of your trail. And here's the little inexpensive Fisker saw that I've been using on the trail in the size comparison. I've gone through a couple of these Fiskers, and the problem is they're a plastic handle and they tend to fail right here where the black and orange rubber meet. And it's really only best for small garden pruning. And when you're working with these Silky Saws, I recommend you keep your riding gloves on. In fact, you should probably have all your riding gear on. Use your climb pants as chaps. And now that's a saw. By comparison. Of course, the alternative to trail maintenance is a big old chainsaw, and the real serious trail maintainers and builders carry a small chainsaw smaller than this. And what they typically do is they build a butcher block rack, take the headlight off, build a butcher block rack, and place the chainsaw right up here on the front forks. Once you get your chainsaw mounted on your front forks, it goes something like this. Of course, you wouldn't want to bring a chainsaw this big with you. Some guys do. But that's a lot of weight and hassle to carry around and run. So here's a saw that's the equivalent of a chainsaw. Quite chain cane. Now, this is the biggest handsaw, folding handsaw that I know of, the Silky Katana Boy. That's the equivalent of a chainsaw in the format of a folding handsaw. And here it is, the Katana Boy compared to the Big Boy, the Fisker, and the chainsaw. 500 millimeter, 19-inch blade. The saw teeth on these Silky blades are impulse hardened, so they take a blast of electric energy and instantly harden just the teeth of these blades, leaving the stainless steel rest of the blade its standard hardness for flexibility. Of course, the teeth are cut such that they only cut on the pull of the saw, so you keep tension on the blade and you're not trying to push a rope as you push the saw forward. And they work with very little effort. The saw blades are also tapered such that the teeth are wider than the back of the blade to prevent binding. Even though these teeth are impulse hardened, the package says you can file sharpen these teeth with a file, but I don't know how you'd get in there and do that. I just get another blade. Impulse hardening, they say, will last a good long time. 3 times longer than non-impulse hardened blades. Now for opening and closing the Katana Boy, it's got a double locking mechanism. That does, loosen this up, it doesn't fall off. Then you can press and begin to fold it until it hits that lock. Then with your hands out of the way, press again and overcome that lock and close the blade. And tighten all that back down. And it's locked, it won't open up on you. Reverse the procedure to open it. Open that up. Press. There's that first lock. And then the second lock. And lock the lock so that you can't inadvertently break that loose. Now let's go mow something. Now the Silky Boy saw is much too large for carrying around for daily riding, but for trail maintenance, I think it's going to be a lot easier to carry around than a chainsaw. It comes in this great package here. If you loosen the strap up all the way, you can just sling it over your shoulders and ride with that on your back. I might consider some kind of a breakaway link in case it gets hung up on a branch or you crash and fall, and get this strap to break away from you so it's not strangling you or trying to pull you off the bike if it's hung up on something. I'll just go like that. Just like my chain cable. Go with a snap. Look out. Got that away real quick. Good action. You can build a log cabin with one of these. Now, here's your typical windfall on the trail. Let's clean it up. Now, one of the added benefits of these folding pole saws is you can cut a much bigger diameter log than, say, a traditional bow saw or a buck saw, because those saws, you got the limitations of the structure stopping your stroke. Plus, these are much safer because you can fold the sharp teeth up and out of the way. When I'm clearing up these trails, I like to keep the trimming of the tree just wide enough to get my bike through. Trail maintainers will probably want to see it a little bit wider, but it's certainly a good point to don't make it so wide ATVs can get through. Hardly any down pressure on the blade. Of course, this is old hardened oak and pine. The dead pine, like you see up on the trail, should go that much easier. Very clean cuts on hard old oak. Another advantage is this has great reach as a pole saw. Getting branches way up high. Just don't drop it, some bitch. Don't drop it on you. It'll take no effort. There it goes. Ta-da!
Where's the jacket?
Hang. Open the gate, Pete. That we're good?
Where's the jacket?
Now get your trail fixed up again. Ready to go right on it. And no touch. Sharp. No touch. Sharp. That's called the Katana Boy.
So is that for big trees?
That's right. What does it look like?
So?
Does it look like a sword too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, remember, never touch these. They're way too sharp.
Is this a chainsaw?
Yes.